Have you ever walked into a house and immediately thought, wow, this color has got to go? Maybe it's a bright red dining room, maybe a neon yellow kitchen, or that purple bedroom someone thought felt royal. Here's the thing. When you're selling a home, paint color actually affects how much money and how much buyers are going to pay. And there's real data behind it. In fact, a Zillow study of more than 4,000 home buyers found that certain paint colors can increase or decrease a home's value by thousands of dollars. Hi, I'm Jamie Herring, an Illinois realtor, and today I'm wearing one of my favorite colors, orange. But I would definitely not paint my house with orange walls. Stay tuned and I'll show you why certain colors can actually hurt your sale price. Before we jump into which 5 colors to avoid, let's talk about why this matters. When buyers walk into a home, they start forming an opinion within seconds. Color impacts emotion and perception. Psychologists call this color theory. Certain colors trigger specific feelings. And if you're like me, your social media feed is probably flooded with color theory videos lately. For example, blues and greens tend to feel calm and safe. Neutrals feel clean and move-in ready. And bright colors like orange can feel overwhelming or overly personal. And it's that emotional reaction which actually affects how buyers value a home. Zillow's research found that some paint colors can reduce a home's perceived value by several $1,000s. And I see this all the time here in Lake County, Grays Lake, Libertyville, Gurnee, Round Lake, Lake Villa. Buyers today want homes that feel fresh and neutral, not like they're walking into someone else's design project. So let's talk about the biggest offenders. Bright red, number 1, the first color that almost straight out of the box that needs to go if you're selling, bright red walls. Now, don't get me wrong, red can look beautiful at a Ralph Lauren restaurant or as an accent decor, but in a home sale, not so much. A bold red living room or bedroom can actually reduce the price buyers are willing to pay by around $2,000. Why? Because red is a very intense color psychologically. It increases energy and stimulation, which is great for a sports car, but not always great for a relaxing home environment. Buyers walk in and immediately think, oh, this is a project, and projects lower offers. So where can red work? Sometimes in a home office or den with beautiful woodwork, think Ralph Lauren style, not fire department red. Before going, here's just something interesting from my experience. We've had feedback from buyers who didn't like the color of one room. So the sellers begrudgingly painted the room, even though I told them, and it completely changed the buyer feedback. Suddenly, buyers walked in and the home felt fresh and light and updated. And we ended up getting strong offers. So that's the power of paint. The second color that often hurts resale value, bright yellow. This one surprises a lot of sellers because they think yellow feels cheerful and sunny and everyone loves a yellow kitchen. And many buyers do love a yellow kitchen, but a creamy, soft yellow. A bold yellow is dated and overwhelming. Zillow found that homes with bright yellow kitchens or living rooms could sell for nearly $4,000 less. And the reason is simple. Yellow reflects a lot of light, so it can feel harsh and overpowering, both in photos and in person. And remember, buyers today first experience your house online in listing photos. Your online photos are essentially your very first showing. And if the color dominates the photo, buyers start mentally adding up the cost of repainting the house before they even visit. True story. I had buyers looking at homes and I asked if they had seen the house on George Street. And she said, oh, yes, the George Street one, the one with all the crazy paint colors. Each room had an accent wall. One wall is yellow, another wall is teal, another is orange, another is purple, another is lime green. And here's the funny part. My client's son-in-law is actually a painter. But even she said, ugh, I don't want to tackle that big of a project. And all the sellers really had to do is paint. Number 3, purple walls. Purple bedrooms were very popular about 15, 20 years ago. Lavender, eggplant, plum, we've seen all of them. In fact, in 2003, when I got married, We chose purple for our bedroom walls. It was that popular. But purple is a very personal design choice, and buyers often struggle to picture their own furniture in that space. The biggest problem with strong colors like purple is that they limit imagination. When buyers see neutral walls, they picture their life there. They know their furniture is going to work. When they see bold purple walls, they picture their weekends repainting them. And anything that feels like work creates hesitation. Next on the list, orange. Now clearly, I like orange. I'm an autumn. Great sweater, great handbag, maybe a great accent piece, but orange walls, they're extremely polarizing. Some people love them, but most buyers don't. Orange is a very high energy color, like me, but it can feel overwhelming in large spaces like living rooms or kitchens. And again, it signals customization. We do see orange sometimes in the Chicago area because of the Chicago Bears, but unless it's a man cave, skip the orange. When selling a house, the goal is to make the home appeal to the largest number of buyers possible. The more neutral the palette, the easier it is for buyers to see themselves living there. The fifth color that sellers should almost always repaint before selling, lime green or neon green. Now, interestingly, green itself is actually very popular right now, but not lime green and not neon green. The shade matters. Zillow's research shows buyers often prefer a deep natural green like olive or forest, not bright neon versions. In fact, olive green kitchens can actually increase a home's value by around $1,600. But lime green, that usually reads as dated or overly themed. So if you have bright green walls, simply shifting to a softer or deeper tone can make a huge difference. Now here's the interesting part. The best colors today are not necessarily plain white or gray. Gray definitely had its moment a few years ago. Everyone chose elephant gray, but today buyers are leaning towards warmer neutrals and natural tones. A lot of designers now recommend Greige, which is a mix of gray and beige. I like it when it's a little more beige. And recent research shows that buyers are drawn to moody natural colors like deep olive green, navy blue, or charcoal walls. A navy bedroom, for example, can increase offers by about $2,000, and charcoal gray living rooms add around $2,600 in perceived value. These colors feel modern, calming, and sophisticated. So the takeaway isn't that homes need to be boring. They just need to feel intentional and widely appealing. And if you need paint recommendations, here's a helpful tip. Look for paint colors with a light reflectance value, or LRV, between around 65 to 75. LRV simply measures how much light a paint color reflects. The higher the number, the brighter and lighter the room will feel. That range tends to create the perfect neutral backdrop for most homes. Kylie M Interiors recommends colors like Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Gray, which has an LRV around 60, Sherwin-Williams Natural Linen around 66, Benjamin Moore Collinwood, which has an LRV around 61, and in my own home, Benjamin Moore Classic Gray around 74. And it's not gray, it's a very light, warm, neutral backdrop that works with so many different furniture styles. So if you're thinking about selling your house, here's the quick rule. If your walls are bright red, yellow, purple, orange, or lime green, it will be absolutely worth repainting before you list. Paint is one of the cheapest updates you can make, but it has one of the biggest impacts on buyer perception and offers. Sometimes a few gallons of paint can literally mean thousands of dollars in your final sales price. When I walk through homes with sellers before listing, one of the things we often talk about is which rooms are worth repainting and which ones aren't. Because sometimes the right paint can make a home feel $10,000 more valuable to buyers. And who doesn't want that? And if you're thinking about selling in Lake County, Illinois, or in Northern Illinois in general, Grays Lake, Libertyville, Round Lake, Gurnee, Lake Villa, subscribe to this channel. I share tips every week to help you prepare your home and get the best possible price when you sell.